Good evening, everyone. So, today is the second day of our workshop. We'll be waiting for a few more minutes. So, have you guys installed the Flutter SDK and any editor? Either Android Studio or Visual Studio Code. So, the agenda of today's session is we'll create a Flutter application and the theme will be based on tourism. And in that app, we'll implement image widgets using image assets. We will take user input and we will also implement navigation drawer in it. Other than that, there will be a button navigation and other widgets. So just a few minutes more and I'll start the hands-on tutorial. Okay, so let's move ahead. To create a Flutter application, we can do it either through the Android Studio or using command line. So let's take a look on how to do it through Android Studio. I hope you have installed Android Studio in your system. So we'll move to the Android Studio and we have to click on. Before creating new app, we have to install the Flutter and Dart plugins. So after, we'll wait for a few seconds. The studio is opening. We'll go to plugins and we have to type Flutter in the marketplace tab. And as you can see, it is already installed in it. So it is when you will click install, it will also ask you to install the Dart plugin. So you have to install both of them, and then you will see a tab called a new Flutter project or a button, I guess. So from here we can click on a new Flutter project, and in this, from the navigation, we can click on Flutter and we have to specify the Flutter SDK path. Like yesterday, I showed the installation. I have installed Flutter in my C drive. In my Flutter folder. So we have to click OK. And then we have to click Next. And we have to give all our title and what is our project type. We have to select our organization. But for this session, I'll also teach you how to do it through the command line. So let's move to the command line. This is how we do through the Android Studio. And for the next step, we'll try from the command line. So I'll be creating my Flutter project in documents folder, and I'll type the command. So I'm giving, this is the name of my app. Okay, okay. Just a few minutes. We have to move to another package. And if we have not installed the Flutter SDK, this is the link like I showed yesterday as well. We'll create it through Android Studio only like I was doing earlier. I think there is some issue with the name. So it is creating the Flutter project. So as you can see, this is the project is being created and there is a big folder structure. So I'll also explain you the folder structure. In the folder structure, we will see that after the project is created, there is an Android or iOS folder, and that is an auto-generated source code to create Android or iOS application. Next, we'll see there is a lib folder, that is the short form of library, and it contains main.dart file, and that is the file which is automatically created after we build our project or we create, and all the code that we write in the library folder only, creating our dart files. And after we build our project for the first time, there is a test folder also generated, which consists of widget test.dart file. Apart from it, there is a readme.md file, there is a pubspec.yaml file and a log file, and these are just auto generated by the Flutter package manager. And there are other dot packages and dot metadata data file which is generated by the Flutter tools. And git ignore and .iml is only created when you create the project file by Android Studio. So let's move ahead. So this was the folder structure. Now we'll start working on our project. Android Studio might take a lot of space on our system. So I prefer for this time I'll be working with command line. We'll move to our project folder and we'll open VS Code in it. I think I'll have to open it from file only. And as you can see, like I explained, this is the Android folder, this is the iOS folder, and this is the lib folder. And this is the main.dart file, which is already opened in it. Is the screen visible or do I need to zoom it? This might seem very intimidating at first, but we'll create all of it from the scratch. So we'll be removing all our code from the main.dart file. And we just left the import which is already available by default. I think there is some technical issue. Just a minute. Okay, so we'll begin. First of all, I think we are going to write the first command that runs our project. So for that, we'll create a main function. This is how we create the main function in Dart. And in that, we have to write a class that runs our project. For that, we will write a run app method. And that run app method will make use of the my app class. So now it is in underlined by red color because we have not yet created the class. So after this, we'll create the class. This is the name of the class, and because it is not making use of any data in the first screen, so we will use stateless widget. And you can see in the suggestion as well. Now this is our class is created. We'll first write an annotation which is override because it is a kind of, you know, a syntax. So we always write this so that our method is not overridden by any other method, and we'll start building our widgets. So this is the syntax that is going to be used for any UI we design, and build context method will provide the context for the widget that we are going to display on our screen, and it is going to return. Because we are using material package in Flutter by default, so we are using this package here. So for now, we are leaving it empty. I hope people are following along. So this is the basic idea that you should write. We are not giving any another widget because we want to maintain some modularity in our code. And in this main.dart file, we will link the home screen link class. Okay, so we are going to add in this material screen, we are going to have a home parameter which specifies what we are going to display on the home screen. So I am creating, this is a method, you can give any name. I am giving it the name home screen. And because you have given it the name, so now you have to create another class for it. And for that, we will create a new class file and we'll name it home.dart. And because we have mentioned about the home screen in our main.dart file, so we have to create a class for that. And for every Dart file that we create, we have to first add the import, and then we can start working on it. We will add the class called home screen that we have mentioned in the main.dart file. So this is the, like I created the class for the main screen. Similarly, I'll have to create for the home screen as well. So similarly, an annotation and another widget declaration. You should take care that you write the home.dart file in the same library folder, because all the Dart files are in the library folder only. So we'll continue with our code. And we will return the very first widget called scaffold. Like I mentioned yesterday, scaffold is the widget that displays the screen, the very first screen that we see, and we can display the app bar on it, the title. So like you can see, there are several suggestions, and if I click on the first one, it gives us an uh, two brackets, and in that we can mention, like first of all we are mentioning the app bar, what is the title that will be displayed on the app. So for that, the app bar parameter, and then this method will be displayed in which we are going to add the title, and the title will be a text, has to be mentioned like this. So this is done. Our basic is done. And because we are using home screen from the home.dart file, we'll have to import it in our main.dart file as well. So we can write home.dart. Okay, so it is done. Now we can try to run our app. I'll have my, so this is the phone screen on which we are going to run the app. Just a second. So after we click on the run button, it starts running the Gradle file. And as soon as this will be finished, we'll take a look on how the app is installed. Meanwhile, like I mentioned, there is a README file generated as we create a file. So this is the README file as well. And there is a test folder. And after this build is completed, I think there is some error. Okay. Just a second. Okay, I missed a semicolon. It happens in, like, every comma and every semicolon is important when you are developing. So you have to take care every time whether you have given any extra or what. As soon as this build is taking a little time because we are running it on Android, we can also run it on Chrome, like you can see. So after you are able to see it for the first time on Android, I'll switch to the Chrome, because build on Android takes a lot of time, and for this session we have to finish it soon enough. And this is the pubspec.yaml file. We define all the packages and everything that we have. So now this is the phone screen. The app is being installed. I think there's some error in launching. Just a second. So if it will not build on my phone, so we'll have to try on Chrome. Okay, so this is the app like I created. This was the main.dart file in which we have linked the home screen, and the home screen consisted of only the app bar. So right now we are only working with the app bar. So I just wanted to show that how you are going to get the build after on an Android device. And now we are going to add an image to it. So to add an image, we already have a my file downloaded in any file. You can download any file. So for that, first of all, we have to create a new folder, and folder is here mentioned. It is called as the name. This is just a convention, but we often use the name assets, and inside the assets we'll create another folder called images, and inside the images we'll have to add the file that we are going to use in our image, in our app. So this is the, we are moving a file, this is the name, from this location to our Android Studio project and to the images folder. So now this file is loaded. I am disconnecting the device from RMX, like my phone, and we'll now build it on Chrome, so that it doesn't take much time on building. And after you have created an image folder, you have to add it to the this file pubspec.yml file. So now you have to move to the pubspec.yml file and add the folder that you have created here. If you can see the Flutter command written here, here it is written to add assets to your application, add an asset section like this. So here only we are going to add the folder that we have created, and it is going to be written like this, assets, and it will add assets/images. We are not specifying the image because we'll be making use of all the images that is in the image folder. And let's try to run it, and this time we are running it on Chrome. There is assets appear to be a list. Okay. So now this will open a new Chrome window. The same project that we created for our Android will also be applicable for web app also, because Flutter is a cross-platform application and it is also applicable on iOS. So we can also run it on an iOS device. So this is how it will run on Chrome. Okay, so this is done. After we have added our images and we have given it in our pubspec.yml file, now we can start working on it. In the home screen, we are going to add the image asset. We can remove the files. So to add the image, we have to first add body, because till now we are only working with the app bar. We can now start working on the body. For body, we have to specify the perimeter body, and then the widget called container will be used. And in that container, because we are right now we are working with image, but we are also going to import a text input and other things also. So we are going to use a child widget. Every time when you create a container, inside that you have to specify a child to add another widgets that you are going to. So in the child, it is a column type because we will be adding other, and inside that there will be a widget called children. So to add the image, we'll be adding image.asset, and we will add the path of the image that we have copied to our folder. So it will be assets, images, and the name of our file. We can refactor it like it is, we can rename it to home image. So we'll mention it here, home image.jpg. Okay, so after we have added the image path, we'll also align it because we want it in the center. Alignment is going to be alignment dot, no, this is wrong. You have to click alignment dot center. Now we can try to run our app and we can see how is it visible. Let's see. And after we have added the image, there will be a input section in which user will be asked to enter the text, and with a button click you will be able to navigate to the next screen. It is taking, okay, it has opened a new window. So this is the image that we added to our folder, and it is going to appear like this. Because we are working with small screen and we are not working on the responsiveness now. So this is how the screen will appear, image will appear. We are done with the image part. So now we'll be moving to the input part. Or before that, we can also add a navigation drawer. For that, there is, like we added an app bar, similarly we can add a drawer navigation. For that, you have to click near the app bar and click on the right drawer. This is the widget that is used for navigation drawer. And for the navigation drawer, we are going to have, for now we'll have only two list items, and in the drawer widget there will be a child widget like I mentioned earlier, and we are using a list view. So for the list view, the list items will be a number of items, not just one. So we'll also be using children widget here. If you specify a child widget, it will automatically give you an error and it will ask you to convert it to children. So this is the syntax, and the widget is closed. And in the drawer, we'll have a drawer header, navigation drawer, which will display the name. So inside the children, this is the first widget, and it will display the text, that is the heading of the app that we are giving. So tourism app, and we can give a little bit of decoration to it so that it appears well. We can also play around with more parameters. If you click on Google or search on Google about how you can add decoration to widgets, there will be a lot of code. So we'll give the color blue, and this is how we specify the, no, I think we should go with transparent. Okay, we'll go with transparent, and it will take up the background color only. Or we can also add an image to our navigation drawer. So we can add an image, but for adding an image also, we will need to import it to our Android Studio project folder. So we are going to do it like we did earlier. Let's add the image. Okay, so this is going to be the image, and let's move it to the image folder. Okay, and rename it. We will rename it to anything, a logo maybe. Okay, so now we have added the image and we can assign its path here, and we can do it by specifying the logo.jpg. So this is done, and we can also add how we are going to make So now we can see there is an error, there is a red line coming. Let's debug it. Don't need a comma. Okay. So we have added a drawer header, and after the asset image, we can ask it a fit method, which will make it fit in a box. These are some of the basic commands that will. Okay. So the box decoration is closed now. We can now work on the list style, and we have not closed something. There is some error. Decoration image. Oh, we are missing a command. Here we have to write another decoration image. Because we are doing it inside the box decoration, so we have to add another command to it. So now you can see the error is removed. Still there might be some, because we have played around with the brackets. So this bracket is closed and this bracket is closed as well. We don't need a comma here. We can, as you can see, decoration image is closed, box decoration is closed, and door header is also closed. So that is it. We can now run the app and see how it is working. Oh, we are expecting a on 23rd line. We are missing, there is something error with the comma. Okay. We'll have to give comma everywhere, wherever we are working. Still we are missing somewhere. I guess we are not. Let's hope it will not give any error. Okay. Still giving an error. Okay, so all the commas are now given. So it will restart our app, and we'll see a drawer icon, that is a hamburger menu at the side of our app title. So the application is restarted, and you can see this is the navigation menu. We have not added anything right now, only the heading. So we'll be adding another list item also. We added an image, but the image is not coming right now. Okay, let's work ahead. In the drawer header, we have worked with the drawer header. Now we'll work with the other list items. For list items, we have to write the list style widget, and it will have a title. The title will be, but every time you write a text, you have to write it in the text method. The first list item is going to be home, and after that, we'll close it. The list style is closed. We'll create another list style, and we'll give another title to it. Store. Okay. What's the error? Comma. So you must not miss comma anywhere. It may cause error. So we can now run the application and see. Okay, so you can see the two list items that have appeared here. Now we can add some decoration to it. We will add two icons. To add icons, we will add, this is the method that we are going to use. It is considered as trailing. Everything that appears to the right of any widget, we can specify it like this. And using an icons dot we will use an arrow forward icon. So icons are loaded by default because we are using a material package in it. And there is, okay. So this is the icon that we'll be using for both our list item. And we can see, so it is already, like I mentioned, there is a hot reload in Flutter. So it automatically restarts the device and builds the project. So that these two icons have appeared now. And what more we can add? Later on, we will also add navigation to it. That is, when we click on it, we will navigate to another screen. Now we are done with the navigation drawer and the adding the image asset. So now we can work with the text input. For text input, I am planning, because we need text in it, that is a state or a data. So for that, we'll have to create another stateful widget class. And we can, to maintain the modularity of the code, we can do it by creating another Dart file. So for that, I'm creating, this is the class that we will be using, that is text input. It is in red color because we have not yet created the class. So in the library folder, we'll create a new file, text input .dart. When we have created the file, we will first of all add the package like we did in previous files. So we'll add this package import, and we'll also add the class that we are going to, this is the text input class. Till now we have been working with the stateless widgets, and now it is going to be a stateful widget. And the similar syntax with the annotation override. And widget the build method. No, this is the function, build function with the build context. This context is used to provide what are we actually going to display, and you will be using it in all your, whenever you are developing anything. But we don't need widget in it. So let's first take input. So we'll take input and we'll create a state, because for every stateful parameter we create state, and it will be a new input. Like we have created another class here, so we will have to create, extend this class after this method is extended. So class input extends. This is the main part of the input code. State, no, we will need a state, and then we are going to take the text input, the previous class name, and we'll write the, we don't need padding. Why do we have a red line here? So here we are going to specify the widget. For the first method, first class that we created, we won't be satisfying. We'll only use it to start the state. And in the next method, next class, we'll write the build context method. And it will return whatever we are going to create. So we are going to use the column widget here. As you can see, column widget will add children like we did earlier. Before that, we will specify as widgets. So we are done with it a little bit. So yeah, okay, this is fine. We will add a child which will take the text input. For that, we will be using text field. And decoration. We can add this later, okay? So for now we are leaving it just the text field. No, we should add the decoration right now, because within it only we will specify what is the text that will display on our input fill in, that is the blank that we'll get on the screen. For that, we can place the hint text, and we are going to ask the user to enter the name of a place. We are done. We have to just add the commas, and we have added. Let's see what's the error. In the column method, we have added. We will also be giving a padding to it. So for that, we'll add a const. Let's add it here after the text field. And inside the const padding, we'll have the child class. There is some error I'm getting. So let me first complete the syntax. This is how we give padding to it. Like we will only give it on the edge insets, and it is going to be symmetric on all the sides. So on the horizontal, we are just for, we may specify 8, and on vertical 16, or anything you may specify 8 or 10. Let's go with 12. We have some errors still, so let's take a look. The class text input is created fine, and the input create state. This will create the state. The widget build will build the build context, and it will return a column, and there will be children in it. It is not recognizing the children. This is where the error starts. After the children, so this is going to be widget. Okay, that was the error. So now let's run it. Is there any other error? Yes, commas. So I guess we are done. We'll now try to run it. Okay. Let's see if it is working. We have just worked with the input file, so we will now be adding it to the home.dart file, because we have only added the method, and we have to import the text input file as well. We'll import the text input dot dart. We can do it like this also. Okay, so this is done. Let's see. It is not appearing on it. So we'll just add the text input, and we'll end in a few minutes. We see there is an error here in the state, because we have not entered the name correctly, I think. Here we don't have to give comma. We don't specify classes with brackets. Okay, that was the error. And there is one more error. Text input. So when we are working, we are importing any class in it in a home file. We'll have to give, there is an error here. Let's see. Alignment.center text input. What are we missing? Commas. I guess yes. We are missing widget is from framework.dart text input. Our text input file is fine. We just have one error here. Alignment.center text input. Let's close, stop it, and then run again. There is some error. So we'll end with text input only here because we are running out of time. Let's add the text input method. There is an error that will to resolve. So till now we have created the app which is here. We have added the image and we have added the navigation menu with the home option and explore option. And there is some error with the text input that I guess we'll be working with tomorrow. So let's move to our presentation. I hope you have followed along with the session, and now you'll have to give your attendance in the chat box. My teammates will share the link in the chat box. And that was all. You must register for tomorrow's session as well because we'll complete the form that we have, whatever app we have created. So we'll be ending the session in a few minutes. We are creating an app. Later on tomorrow, we are going to add a button to it and we'll add a navigation. We'll navigate from here to the other screen. We'll also add the image here. So tune in for tomorrow as well. And don't forget to RSVP for the next session. We'll also be having the quiz after we create the app completely tomorrow. And if you have any doubts, you can also ask me personally in the WhatsApp group, or you can mail me from the mail you have registered. I'll be sharing my mail in the chat box. So if you have any other doubts, you can ask me. So thank you everyone. You can complete whatever we have created till today and we'll add more tomorrow. Thank you.